Hi everyone, it's Nana, Foxy Mama 365. We're back again with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 4, episode 3, and it's called Hot Mic. So Bravo does this thing where they try to entice us by showing us a clip of something that's going on, and it's like, oh, what happened? And then they now take us back to the beginning of what happened, and now lead us through a story. So that's kind of good storytelling, right? So we're here with Ashley, and she's with her mom, and she's telling her mom about how she's very happy things are much better with her and Michael, and she's trying to have a baby now, so she's cutting out a lot of stuff and trying to be healthier and all of that. She's cutting out alcohol and doing her meditations, and she's feeling a lot better, you know. And she's like, oh, Uncle Lumps is having his birthday, and they're going to be hosting it at all, and she's so excited. Uncle Lump used to be her uncle that actually literally raised her up, so he's more like a father figure in her life. And her mom is very excited and happy that they're back in her life, you know, and Michael seems okay with it. I was a little like, Anyways, Uncle Lump had said a few things before where Ashley had said she wanted to have a baby, and then Michael didn't want to have a baby because he was like, oh, he felt he was a little older and Ashley wasn't right, and the baby might be like raised like the way Ashley was raised by her mom. So she spoke to her uncle, Uncle Lump, and he was like, Michael was just full of shit, that he just wanted a trophy wife. And in my mind, I think Uncle Lump was right, in that I see Michael to be a controlling figure in Ashley's life because he controls the finances. So which is kind of nice that Ashley has this gig, the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she's trying to kind of do her own thing if she can, but she's kind of tied financially to him, you know, so at any point he can kick her out. So I still believe that Michael is not, even though he's like hugging her mom and trying to like be like family, I still believe that he still has some resentment, and he's only doing all this for the camera. Just my thoughts. Anyway, moving right along, we see Karen in Great Falls. She's picking up a headstone for her late dad, and it's kind of sad. But in all of this, what we really get is the fact that her husband is healthy, and she's grateful for that. And also the fact that he is just 2 years younger than her dad, Karen. Anyways, he's healthy. She's lived a happy life with him. I think they have 2 kids together, and he's there for her, so that's all that matters. It's kind of a sad thing for her. So Giselle is catching up with her therapist, Dr. Ken, and she's meeting up. It was meant to have been a therapy session for herself and Sherman, but unfortunately Sherman is nowhere to be found, and Giselle is like, he's out. So the therapist, Dr. Ken, is like, okay, what's been going on? And she's like, okay, hold up, let me catch you up. Where's Sherman? Sherman is no longer in my life. That there was a wedding he was meant to go for, and 2.5 hours she would give him that before the wedding. He calls and cancels, which I thought was a very shitty thing for him to have done. He could have called a day before. He could have, you know, expressed himself and said, hey, I'm not comfortable about this yet, you know, and not have led her on for so long, because she was actually walking out, you know, and trying to get herself right for the wedding, only to be let down at the last minute. Nah, I can't excuse that. I know, because I'm like, they talk a lot of shit about a lot of people on the show. That's what the show is about. Granted, he didn't sign up for that, but he's dating a woman on the show, so he must know what is going to happen, that or any kind of secrets are going to be revealed. Anyways, Dr. Ken is kind of confused. He's like, okay, so what happened to all the love? And she's like, trashed, cancelled, terminated. So he's like, okay, where did the love go? And she's like, whiskey. So anyway, Dr. Ken is like, well, you can't, you know, that emotion is going to come out somewhere. That anger, that, you know, hurt is going to show up somewhere. If it doesn't show up with your children, it's going to show up with your workers or your colleagues and all of that, but it will come out somewhere, you know, as aggression. And that made a lot of sense, and I was like, oh, that's actually true. And he says, are you going to cancel everyone in your life? And actually, when I look back at my life, I'm like, truly, I stopped talking to a lot of people because I'm like, person, no, I'm not dealing with that. No. And you're like, really? You end up, you know, have old friends that, you know, maybe you could have said, maybe I was a little too harsh, you know, taking the eye to, I'm not a perfect human being, you know. So Giselle's like, okay, yeah, maybe she should actually look back. So she's also going to look back at all her exes and friends that she has cancelled, and maybe give them a second chance, or, you know, also try and tap into her emotions. So that's what she's going to do. So see Candace and Chris, and this is 3 days after their wedding, and they're still excited. It's still honeymoon. But guess what? Chris says somebody's got to go pay the bills. So he's going back to work and he's like, well, it's time for us to move out. Good thing. Because you see when her mom was controlling Candace all through the wedding because she was the one supplying the monies and they were living in her mom's house. So it's a good thing that now Chris is saying, guys, babe, let's get up. We have to, you know, spread our wings and fly. We can't continue to stay in your mom's house. And I'm really excited about that. And you see, once she, you know, she takes the first step, the rest will be like, oh, why didn't I do this? You know, why was I leaning so much on my mom or my dad or, you know, someone else, you know? Easier said though, but it sounds scary. But once you start, it just seems like a better place to be. Moving right along. Whew. Chris ain't getting ripped. Well, anyways, Giselle is looking back at all her friends and she's like, okay, she's gonna give some other people, more people, and try to be more, tap into her emotions. So in comes Katie, looking like a heifer. I don't know why. Because she should have known she was going to be filming. So she has a scarf around. She's like, she's in. Get it together, girl. You knew you were going to be filming, so you should come on point, okay? So anyways, they're catching up. And Katie is telling Giselle that she's with her boyfriend. He's 27 and, you know, he's got more money. He's got more. And I'm like, okay, you go, girl. Initially, I was thinking, because she is, I think she says she's 37 and he is 27. So there's quite an age gap. But she looks very pretty. And so long as the guy is consenting, he's an adult. You know, they're not depending on each other for financial whatever. They're living together. That's all that matters. He's got more money and more clothes than she has. So good for her. Giselle invites her to Ashley's uncle's party. I hope she had... Well, anyways, Katie's going to be coming up at the party. So we'll see. Robin and Juan. Robin is taking Juan to her investment property. And it's taking 8 months right now. She thought it was going to take about 4-6 months. But it's taking much longer. And they still have to put in another 10,000. I think they said she's putting in about 50 or 60,000 was the rough estimate. But now it's gone a little over. And they're hoping to put it in the market like today. You know. But there's still so much work to be done. And one is like, oh my gosh, this is still a lot. If it still looks like this, I can only imagine how it looked, you know, when you started. And indeed, it really looked horrible when her mom and Robin walked into that place. But, well, we'll see little progress. And then, of course, she talks about them losing their money. And, of course, once again, we know that this is the reason why Robin stuck with Juan through that whole divorce, or not getting divorced, but living together. And Juan, you know, going out with other women. And, of course, Ashley, you know, throwing and everybody throwing darts at her. So, pretty much she's hoping that she can get some of the money back. We'll see. So Candace is meeting up with Ashley at Oz and they're talking and having a tete-a-tete. And of course we see Candace criticizing Ashley for drinking because she's like, your actions do not show that you really want to have the baby. Do you want to have this baby or do you want to have the bear? You know, so it was kind of funny. But we'll see, the baby or the Corolla. Moving right along, so Giselle has been invited into Karen's house and she's like, okay. And then she gets there and Karen is saging the whole house. And she's like, are you saging me? And Karen is like, yes. And I like how direct Karen is. If we had seen more of this side of Karen, we probably wouldn't have made so much fun of her. You know, I like the fact that she's like, look, Giselle, you're not my friend. You know, this person, you're not my friend. I'm going to be me. I don't want to do all the foolery and all of that. You know, so I kind of like Karen this season. Never to say that she might not turn out next year to return to being a heifer. So anyway, she's like, all evil spirits out, you know. Giselle coming in here with a bad spirit out, you know. And Giselle's like, girl, did you sage your wigs? And then they flash back to when Karen's wig was shifting and she kind of was, I got it. And I was like, I remember that moment. I laughed and laughed my head off. That was so funny. So Giselle is trying to snoop around and Karen's like, no, you only get to see 2 rooms, okay? We'll take it easy. Well, baby steps now, okay? And I don't like it when friends do that. You know, people come into your house and some people are nosy. They want to see what you got going on, what's happening here. And Giselle's like, does she really live here? Or is she just living in the basement, you know? And I'm like, it's so unnecessary. Even if she's living in the basement, so long as you're not the one paying the rent, what the hell is it to you? Girl, keep it pushing. So Giselle wants the tour of the house and Karen is like, no, you can only get 2 rooms today, okay? Baby steps. So Karen calls Giselle out on not being a good friend, and I totally agree. And like I said, I like the fact that Karen is able to just say to her face, you know, call her out on her bullshit. And Giselle is like, okay, indeed, I might not have been as compassionate as I could have been, especially when you lost your parents, you know, and all of that, talking about your husband wanting another woman. That, okay, but now I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to better myself. I'm in therapy, you know. And then Karen asks about Sherman. Is she doing all of this just because of Sherman? And she's like, no, I'm not really ready to talk to you about Sherman. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. But, you know, we kind of take baby steps, like, because you're close friends with Sherman's ex-wife. So I don't really want to talk to you about that. That's pretty much why Giselle is holding back. And I totally get that. So you're like, okay, we're going to take baby steps. And she says, okay, and Karen is talking to the editors, and they're like, okay, Karen says she's not surprised that Giselle is no longer with Sherman. And the editor is like, how do you know? And she's like, hello, people talk. It's a very small town, and we all shop in the same place, and we do the same, we have the same friends. And when she saw him at Saks, he was with another woman. And I was like, oh, Sharon, did you just spill that tea that Sherman has already moved on? Or was he... Girl, see how messy these women can be? So anyways, they now say, okay, let's just share some secrets, you know, and they're sharing. Quite frankly, we didn't really care about these secrets, you know, but if it gets them a little closer, good for them. So here we are at the party. We see everybody's pretty much there except Monique and Karen. Monique is like, bye girl, no way, I'm pregnant, okay? That's her excuse. And Karen is like, no thanks. I'm not yet ready to mingle with you heifers. She's talking about Ashley and Michael because they're always trying to get into her business. And of course, we also see, Juan is also not there. So Robin is there, Giselle is there, every other person really on the crew is there, you know. But Juan is not there, and we see Michael trying to say, oh, why didn't you bring my good friend Juan? Why didn't you bring my good friend Juan? And I'm like, okay, alrighty, we'll see you, you know. And then in walks in Katie, and they're still at the table, and Katie's like, oh, Ashley, oh, I'm Katie. And then right off the cuff, she's like, I heard you just got married like a week ago. If I had met you a few days ago, I'd have told you, don't do it. So of course we thought she had some dirt or some tea on Chris, but she was just saying, no, marriage is difficult, and pretty much if you can not be married. And I'm thinking, Katie, weren't you trying to get married to Andrew? Remember that, your ex-fiance, for the whole of season 1? Shut the fuck up. Oops. Shut the hell up, girl. Anyways, Katie is saying, oh, marriage is difficult. We don't know if she ever got married. I mean, it's not really clear. Like, she hasn't been on the season for like 3 seasons, so we don't really know what's going on. We just know she has a boyfriend now. And she had an ex-fiance that I don't think they got to the altar. But we never know. Anyways, moving right along. Michael is talking to a man, and we see Michael talking to a man, and he's hot mic'd. And he's saying, oh, you look so good, and, you know, and you're really, really good looking. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I was wondering, was it Bravo people trying to, like, create a narrative that possibly Michael is gay, and him saying another guy looks good? Because usually guys don't tell each other that they look good. They might say, oh, I like your jacket, oh, I like your suit, I like what you're wearing, you know, that's cool. But they won't usually talk about each other's body parts, you know, or say, you know, you can say, oh, the guy is ripped. And someone was saying that men will always say, a man will always say to another man, oh, I love you, bro, you know, and then they will tap each other. You know, especially among the black community, to be like a taboo to actually hug each other or say, I love you. They'll say, love you, you know, and everybody's like, is it really a bad thing for a man to say, I love you to another man? Anyways, keeping it pushing. The ladies are talking, and then we see Candice is saying that, oh, she's got two other siblings she has to contend her mom's love with. And Katie's saying, oh, she's the only child, and that's probably why you might be so selfish, Katie, and inconsiderate about other people's feelings. But anyways, Candice is saying, oh, she's got to share the love, she's got to share the wealth, she's got to share the money, the inheritance. And everybody's looking at her like, what the hell are you guys on about? It's such a beautiful thing to have siblings, people that you can share your life's journey with. It didn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense to me, Candice, okay? Any which way, we see they're playing Ashley's song, and Ashley's song actually sounds good. Not her voice, the song. You know, it's one of those hip hip songs that can actually grow on you, and it's called Love, Coffee and Love. And I kind of liked it. I was like, oh yeah, and it's kind of cool. I like it. But we see Giselle making fun of it, and she's like, no. Now we get to the part we've been waiting for. And this is where we see the party's progressing and they're having a lot of fun and everybody's happy. Candace, Ashley's mom and grandmom are actually there. Her uncle also is there, Uncle Lump, who they brought out the cake for him, and everything is going well. Drinks are flowing. 4 hours after, we see or we hear Michael say, oh, I will actually suck his dick. Though we don't know who he's talking about. And now we have Robin recording and saying, oh, she actually heard it, even though she doesn't want to talk about it, but she actually heard him say it. And I'm like, okay, we'll be watching. So we're watching for next week. We wonder which of the men he was talking about. And then he also has regrets, Michael that is. He's saying, oh, I didn't realize that my mic was on all through the night. I might have said some things. Whew. We'll be watching. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share. Be sure to like and comment down below. Bye. See ya.